For the past several months, the most sought after prize in the Repug Party has been getting the endorsement of the former squatter of the United States. And tonight, the results of the Ohio Senate Repug primary are Exhibit A as to why. Um, a few months ago, JD Vance's campaign looked like it was dead in the water, and even after he raised tens of millions of dollars from conservative donors, he badly trailed the then frontrunner Josh Mandel in the polls. Now Vance, who had once called himself a never Trumper, endured near daily humiliation as he awkwardly and ostentatiously adopted the artifice of a maggot Republican donor in order to appeal to the former squatter's inbred base. But Vance's effort to cultivate Trump and win his sycophantic support ultimately paid off. 3 weeks ago, the stamp of approval came from Trump, and the rest is history. According to according to an Ohio Republican political strategist that somebody spoke with, the impact of the former squatter's endorsement was immediate. The poll numbers in the Senate primary race shifted almost immediately in Vance's favor. If he wins, the strategist said earlier on Tuesday, it will be 100% because of Trump's backing. Basically, it was all about him because basically Trump has to make everything about himself. Basically, it's all about him. This is what somebody had said referring to the former squatter. With the background and venture capital, a degree from Yale from law school, a small living in San Francisco, and as the author of Hillbilly Elegy, a tough, largely unsentimental look at this traumatic upbringing in Appalachia, Vance was always an odd fit in the maggot roster of heroes. Um, Basically, that's what they think they're heroes, but they're really not. In the book, Vance often offered his most pointed criticism of those he grew up with, the same people who were among Trump's most fervent backers. He basically spoke candidly of their drug addictions, including his mother, who's a recovering heroin addict, and their descent into despair and lethargy. Now, however, he saves his criticism for the usual retinue of tech companies, government bureaucrats, and shadowy Democratic elite, all of whom the Republicans have deemed responsible for the plight of the white working class. Now, like Trump, Vance has wholeheartedly embraced the populist rhetoric and the resentment-filled politics of the modern repug. As Vance declared at a Trump Klan rally last week, you cannot have a real country if a bunch of corrupt scumbags who take their marching orders from the communist Chinese tell us what we're allowed to say and how we're allowed to say it. Yeah, that's how Trump basically did that. Yeah, and as his primary opponents constantly tried to remind Republican voters, it wasn't long ago that Vance was a harsh critic of Trump, but back in 2016, he called him reprehensible and an idiot and compared him to a drug that offered his sycophants an easy escape from the pain. Now he says Trump is the best squatter of his lifetime and all has been forgiven. No, it's not. Trump is the worst squatter of my lifetime, and I will not forgive him for being the worst. It's easy to dismiss Vance's about face as peak political hypocrisy, even if it's completely true. Now, but there's little doubt that the decision to hook his wagon to Trump's star was smart politics. It's basically stupid on his part. After tonight, Vance is the clear frontrunner in the general election where he'll face off against Democratic Representative Tim Ryan. It's a terrible political environment for Democrats, and Ohio is increasingly leaning towards the repealed side, so it's hard to see how Ryan will prevail in November. For his fellow repugs, the message from Vance's victory is clear. In the modern GOP, there is no upside in being seen as anything other than the Trump acolyte. And though truth be told, most of them seemed already to know this. Trump's track record this cycle was 55-0 in endorsements, and the Ohio race was defined by a disquieting effort of virtually all the candidates to suck up to Trump in order to win his coveted endorsement. In the Pennsylvania Senate race, Trump gave his endorsement to Dr. Oz, which we don't need any more reality people being in office, but that didn't stop every candidate in recent GOP debate from trying to wrap themselves into Trump's maggot mantle. A year and a half ago, one could still imagine a post-Trump GOP with the former squatter sequestered in a Mar-a-Lago following the January 6th Klan attack on the Capitol that he incited, and perhaps the party would take its first tentative steps out of the maggot bubble. Instead, Trump still has control over the party, and the willingness of GOP leaders to bend over to his will might be more solid than ever. Surely, between now and November, at least a few Trump-endorsed candidates will lose a contested Republican primary. But make no fucking mistake, between now and next fall, every one of them will be trying to follow the same playbook as J.D. Vance. So if you like the video, you can give the video a like and subscribe to my channel, RBW King. You can also hit the notification bell so that you'll be notified when a new video comes out. And if you want to support my work even further, you can donate to my Patreon link, which you can find in the About section of my YouTube channel. And for just as little as a few bucks a month, donating can help go a long way, and thanks for listening.